Hi guys, welcome to Python programming for kids and teens. It's really nice to have you guys here. We're gonna have a lot of fun. This is gonna be like series of videos, right? So one thing to note that even this video is for kids and teens, right? So anyone can watch this video and learn Python programming, but the requirement is just that you have to be 7 years old or more, right? So if you are 7 years old or more, you'll be able to use follow all the instructions in this video. If you are younger than 7, it might be a little bit hard for you, to kind of understand what is going on, right? So the age requirement is 7 years plus, right? So again, welcome to Python programming. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have a lot of things to learn. We're going to learn how to program in Python. You can use like this program for data science, for robotics, to design games and all of that. And I think it's gonna be fun. So in today's lesson, we're going to be looking at introduction to computer, right? So today is really just the introduction, lesson 1. So what we want to know is, we want to know the history of computer, right? So like, how was computer designed, right? And how does computer work, right? How does it work, and what are the types of computer that we have, and how do people program computers, right? So because it is really necessary for us to understand all of this background before we start coding, right, in Python. So, and I think you guys are going to have fun today. So how does computer work? That's it. Before we know how computer works, the first question is, what is actually a computer, right? What is a computer? The definition that we have here, so we say a computer is a device for working with information. You have different kind of information that you want to transform. You use computer to do all of that, right? And the information, we can have information that numbers, words, pictures, movies, or sound, right? If you want to send pictures on Snapchat, you use computer to do all of that. If you want to calculate some numbers, you use computer for that. If you want to watch movies on your phone and all of that, we use computer for that, right? So that is computer for you. And computer can process huge amount of data very quickly. You have your videos, you want to process it, you want to edit it to put it on YouTube, you use computer for that, right? So computer can also store large amounts of data and display it, right? So these are kind of the useful information about computers. Now that we know the definition of computers, what computers are, right? So the next question is, what are the types of computers that we have, right? Is it just laptops? No, that's all. No. So the first type that we have are the supercomputers. These are very powerful and expensive computers used for complex work, such as weather forecasting, and some complex things. Like these computers are usually used in government offices and universities, like to develop high and powerful things, right? The next one that we have are the desktop computers, right, or PCs. These are used for tasks at the office. You want to type a document in your office, in your school, at home, right? So these are examples of PCs, right? So I'll show you pictures of that. Then the next one that we have that you guys will probably know are the notebooks, the laptop, the tablets, the iPad, yeah, they do the same thing as the PCs, but they are very small, right? Like they are smaller than PCs and they are easy to carry around, right? So like there are also types of computer, right? Then the last one that you guys really don't know, right, are the very small computers that are used for controlling machines, right? So they are used in airplanes, they are used in robots, they are used in cars, in TVs, in microwave and refrigerators, right? These are very small computers. I will show you example in the next slide. So just imagine that you go to your microwave and you say, cook my food for 30 seconds, right? There is a computer in your microwave, right, that will take your request and process it and make your microwave work, right? And again, also in TV, when you change your channel, there's a computer in there. In your refrigerator, like even in the elevators, right, there are computers within those machines that control the machine. So those are types of computers too. I hope you guys understand that. So the first type of computer that we have are the supercomputers. So you can see how huge this is, right? It's very expensive, right? Then the next one that we have are the desktop computers, right? With the desktop on the side, and we have the screen, and we have the keyboard separate, right? Then we also have the laptops, the one that you can see on the left there, right? Then the one that we have that I was telling you about are the control machines, and the embedded systems, right? So these are the ones that are in the appliances that we have at home that we cannot see, right? So these are the embedded system control machines, computers, in our refrigerators and all of that. So now let's look at the history of computers, right? So what are the history of computers over the years, right? So the first computer that was designed, right? I mean, technically it's not a computer, but it computes, right? So they call it abacus, right? So it's the very first device used for computing numbers, like used for calculating numbers, right? So since it calculates numbers, right? Technically the term is as computers, right? So that's abacus. I will show you a picture of it. Then the next one, between the 1820 and 1833, right, a British mathematician, right, built a mechanical computer called analytical engine, right. Note that the computer that we have right now, they are electrical computers, right. So, but this one was mechanical computer. I will also show you guys the picture of it, right. So then the first electronic computer was invented in 1940s, right? So these are big computers, they were so big that they couldn't even fill one room, right? And they cost millions of dollars, right? Just imagine that we have computers now in our pocket, because your phone is technically a computer too, right? So then the next one are the computer that use transistors and microprocessor, because of that, computers are very small, because now we use microprocessors, right? Yeah, so that's why computers that we have right now are very small compared to the first electronic computers that actually use tubes. They use tubes for the electronic circuit, right? But for the ones that we have right now, they use transistors. They still use transistors and microprocessors, right? So which makes everything really small, right? And can fit into our pocket and all of that, right? So that is like a brief history of computer. So this is what the abacus look like, the first computer that was invented, right? Then the next one, as you can see, is the analytical mechanical computer. See how big and mechanical it is. Then the first electronic computer is actually called the ENIAC, right? So you see how that is. Then we have the computers that we have right now that use microchips, right? So you can Google and learn more about all these type of computers. I highly recommend that. All right. Just a fun fact for us to have about a rocket, right? So this rocket is the Apollo 11 rocket that was used to launch the Americans to the moon in 1969. The computer in this rocket was very slow. See the speed, 1.024 megahertz, right? To explain that computer is very slow, that even ordinary iPhone 6, old iPhone 6, is 32,600 times faster than that, right? That is how powerful your phones and your computers are, right? So I'm telling you guys this, right, so that you can really learn programming and really know how to use the power in your devices, right? So imagine that a very slow computer was used to launch a rocket to the moon. So then what if now we have a very powerful phone and computer, right? So what do we use that for, right? So that's why we are learning programming. So now the next question is, how does computer work, right? So we know the types of computer, we know the history of computer. Like, how does computer actually work? How does our phone process all the text and images that we put on it, right? So the first thing that we need to know is actually computers are electronic devices, right? Which means they work on electricity. So let me explain that, right? So you have to charge your phones, right? You have to charge your laptop, right? So you see the electricity coming from the power line from your government, right, is coming through your phone, right? And that is what your phone uses, right, to work, right? So it uses electricity, right, from the power line. So that's why it's called electronic devices, right? So And also all computer data is carried in flow of electricity called electric current. So when you send text or take pictures and all of that, what is actually doing the calculation, right, electric current, right, that you get from the power line, right? They are the one doing the processing for you, right? And also computers only understand zeros and ones, right? So please don't forget this. Computer, when you type text on your phone, computer doesn't understand text or images, or you are chatting on Snapchat. No, your phone does not understand that, right? Your phone only understands zeros and ones, right? So when you send text, your phone will have to first convert your text to zeros and ones, before it can process it. I'll show you guys example of that, right? So computers use electric current to represent numbers of 0 and 1, right? So when you send a text, right, so your phone or your computer will use the electric current that you get from the power line to represent zeros and 1, and the zeros and 1 will be the one to represent your text, right? So now, if computers only work on computers work on zeros and ones, right? How is it possible for the computer to process words if it only understands zeros and ones? So that's the next thing that I will teach you guys, right? So how does computer process words if it only understands zeros and ones, right? So let's check it out. Okay, so the first thing that we need to know is that we use computer programs to convert, to change our text, our emails, our games, our images to zeros and ones, right? So that's why we want to learn Python programming, right? To be able to convert all of that we have to zeros and ones that the computer will understand, right? So computer program is what we use to tell computers like to change text to zeros and ones, right? Then the second point, you can see when you type character A on your keyboard, right? Your computer will not see A. Your computer will see 0110001 because that's all your computer understand, right? So your program will be the one to convert this A to these zeros and ones, right? Also, when you type B, this is what your computer says: 011000010, right? This is called converting text to binary because zeros and ones are binary numbers, right? So that's how your computer works. And there are different types of programming language that we can use to program our computer, right? But like we have Java, C++, Python. We are using Python in this class, okay? Okay, so I have a practice question for you guys, right? I think this should be very easy, right? So there is a website that we can use to convert text, to binaries, right? So if you go to that website in there, right, I'll put the link in the description so that you can just click on it, right? So when you go to that website, you can put in your text and your stuff, and it will convert to binary, right? So what I want you guys to do is to convert this word exacted to learn Python programming to binary, right? So you just copy this word, put it in this website, and you see the list of zeros and ones, right? So that's what I want you guys to do: convert this word to binary and use this website to convert it, right, to binary. So hopefully you guys will be able to do that. Okay. So this example of how the website looks like, you see, that's where your URL is going to be. This is where you put your text. See the input text right here, then you have to say, or up here you have to say text to binary, okay? And then you just click on convert, right? So then it will convert your letter to zeros and ones, right? So if you put in like sentences and all of that, it will still convert it to binary for you. So thank you for watching this video. So this is the end of this video. So the next video we're going to go into programming Python proper, right? So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. So we still have a lot of things to learn. So please take care of yourself, have fun. See you in the next video. Bye.